Welcome to the Euro Money Hour podcast. I am your host, Dakota Grady. Welcome to the show, everybody, whether you're listening online in California or around the world. Thank you for joining us. So if you need help with your personal finances, I'm your guy. Go to my website at dakotagrady.com to get resources to help you with your finances, to maximize your money and level up your life. And also, if you need help with your nurse practitioner business, with accounting and taxes, go to my website at theatdoc.com. That's theatdoc.com. So tonight I have a guest on my show, Kinlaw of Kinlaw and Cunningham, LLC, an attorney in Greenville, South Carolina. And I actually know Alice through the wife, Geri Kinlaw. So Geri and I went to Berea College together. So I wanted to just invite him to talk about his business and how he got started. So without further ado, Alice, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So tell everyone about who you are and what you do.
Right. So I'm Alex Kinlaw. Obviously, I have my own firm. I graduated from the University of South Carolina School of Law, and I've had my own practice for about 8 years now. We do a little bit of everything. We do criminal law, we do family law, we do bankruptcy, personal injury. We're more of a general practice. But like I said, we've been practicing law for about 8 years, and it's we've been enjoying it. So
awesome. So how did you get involved in becoming a lawyer?
Right. So it's kind of an interesting story. First of all, my father is an attorney. He was an attorney for several years. He practiced on his own for well over 20 years. And of course, now he went on to become a judge. But after that, basically when I was in college, I actually worked, I had an internship with South Carolina Legal Services here in Greenville. And what I did was I was actually responsible for like interviewing people to see if they qualify for free legal assistance. And so what I would do is I would interview people and then listen to their stories, listen to the situations, and then I would present their particular scenarios to the attorneys in the office building. And then they would make a decision whether or not to accept those cases. And so that was a really good experience. I got to meet all different kinds of people from different backgrounds, and I got to see like how the legal field helped them. And it was good seeing like, attorneys, because obviously, like I said, my father was an attorney, and that was one thing, but it was good seeing like these other attorneys actually make a difference to see it firsthand. So I think that had a big influence on me, and that basically solidified my decision to go ahead and get into the legal field.
So what's the process of becoming a lawyer in terms of like going to school, taking a bar?
Ooh, it's a lot of work. So, but it's worth it though. I think it's worth it if there's something you really want to do. So basically just generally to become a lawyer, and many people don't know this, you have to go to college for 4 years, all right, get an undergraduate degree. And then after you do that, then you have to take a test called the LSAT. And then after you take that, you'll get a score. And then of course, you use that to apply for law school. And once you get into law school, that's 3 years. And then after that, you have to take the bar exam. And of course, every state has their own bar exam that you have to take. So obviously what that means is like, if you graduate from law school in South Carolina, like I did, then of course, you take the South Carolina bar exam, and then you can practice there. But if you want to take the bar, if you want to practice in another state, you have to take their respective bar exam. So that's how that works. But that's generally how you do it. 4 years of undergrad, or get an undergraduate degree, complete 3 years of law school, then pass the bar exam. So that's generally how one becomes a lawyer.
So about 8 years, roughly, if you include, I guess, 4 years of college and 3 years of taking the bar. And then how long would it take you to study for the exam?
Right. So it's real funky with the exam. So the exam is I believe it's distributed like, I think twice a year, 2 times a year. I think it's like distributed, I could be wrong, but I think it's in the summer, and then I think it's also distributed again in the fall, I believe. But anyway, I know it's distributed twice a year, and then it just depends. I know when I studied for the bar, it took me maybe like 3 months of studying, 3.5 months or so of studying to prepare for that. So, and plus, for me, I actually, and I have no issues. I'll be honest with you. The first time I took the bar exam, I did not pass it. So, it was a little bit delayed. So I had to study again and focus on the areas that I was weak in. And so I had to take it again the next year. And so it just depends. And I know some people that it took them 3 times or 4 times to take the bar exam and pass it. For some people, it takes longer. So yeah, hopefully once you graduate, you'll pass it that first time. We all hope for that, but depending on how that goes, it may take a little bit longer. So it just all depends.
Wow. So you got out and you do work for somebody else, like, is there a requirement to get experience to work with somebody before becoming a lawyer or what?
Right. So, that's a very good question. So, no, there isn't really requirements for experience. I know when we were at USC, when we were at South Carolina, one thing that they were starting to do was they were starting to implement these things called clinics. And so basically, if you were able to sign up for these clinics and get them, you could get some practical experience. Like I think they had some clinics where you could like do like family court cases and then like maybe be shadowed by practicing attorneys, or maybe you could serve as a guarded litem, or maybe sit in on some criminal cases. So they had things like that to try to help students get practical experience. And unfortunately, I was not able to get any of those because it was kind of like very random, and the class size was kind of big, so everybody couldn't get one. So, but I think outside of that, no, there's not really much in terms of experience. A lot of people, what they'll do is when they graduate from law school, they may get like a clerkship, like they'll work under a judge, and they can sit in on cases and maybe get some experience that way. Many people, what they'll do is they may get like a job, a position with a firm, and then maybe that first year or two, maybe they'll learn some things and kind of learn from the managing partners as they go along. I think for us, it was a little funky because when I graduated, I didn't really work for anybody. We just went straight out onto our own. So we just launched our business as soon as I passed the bar. I said, you know what, that's it. I'm just starting my own firm. So so it was a little different for me. I didn't really work for anyone or really learn from anyone like that.
So talk about that. Let's talk about business. You started a business with like from scratch. Talk about the steps and how to get from there to where you are right now, 8 years later.
Right. Oh man. Wow, Dakota. I could talk all day about this, but I'll try to keep it brief because I don't want to bore you. So, wow. Okay. So when I graduated and I passed the bar, we looked at a couple of different things. I considered clerking for a judge. I think I want to say I applied for a few firms and for some state jobs. That didn't really pan out. There were some firms I was waiting to hear from. To be honest with you, Dakota, I really just got impatient. I got tired of waiting. And, I spoke with a classmate of mine who's my current partner now, Cedric Cunningham. And I said, look, man, I don't have a job. You don't have a job. I think we can go out here and I think we can do this. I feel confident that we can do this. I mean, I think we just got to just put ourselves out there and let's just make it happen. And plus I just got tired of waiting for somebody to tell me yes or give me an opportunity. I just got sick of waiting. And so, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's just me. So, but anyway, so, one thing that I started doing was I started, this might sound ridiculous, but I started I got a list and I started like researching different attorneys in the area. And I started writing their names down and I just started calling them, like whoever was willing to sit down with me and have lunch with me. Like that's, I'm trying to link up with them. And some people didn't call me back. Some people ignored me, but the people that did sit down with me, I went out to lunch with them. I tried to learn whatever I could from them. And then as I opened up my firm and actually started doing it, some of those same attorneys that I reached out to, I would get like forms from them. If I had questions about certain situations or certain cases, I'd be like, hey, how do you handle this? How do you do this? How does this work? What should I do in this situation? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, so that's kind of how that went. And then, of course, you learn from that and you grow and you learn and you learn and you learn. And that's kind of how I think we sort of developed it. I hope that I know that's a long explanation, but that makes sense.
No, so, I mean, that's great because I like the fact that you got impatient when waiting for somebody to give you a job, basically.
Right.
And that right there, I think for me is how we can relate because you keep wanting somebody to give you something, you put all the effort into it, you interview, you call, you text, you whatever, you do all you can, and you're waiting. And you wait and you wait, you're like, forget that, I'm not gonna wait anymore. Let's go make something happen. Let's go do something, make some money, take care of our families. Not waiting for somebody else to give me a job. If I do that, I might as well start a business. So it's the same process, it's just the opposite of it, right?
Right.
So talk about marketing. How would you market yourself to get your first client and then your next client and so forth?
Right. Wow, what did we do when we first? So I think when we first started a firm, well, the first thing I did to market myself was I got a sign. So, which I mean, you'd be surprised some attorneys don't have signs. But the first thing we did was we got a sign. That actually cost us a couple of dollars. So me and Seth had to put together some money and get the sign together. But we wanted to get like a nice sign. And so we got that put together. We got a nice sign out there, and then some people I think that got us a little bit of business. Some people started coming in because they were curious. So there was that. One thing that we did do was we put some ads. We tried a lot of different stuff, man. Like we put ads in the newspaper. We did use Facebook. We did some stuff on Instagram. We did, a lot of the normal stuff that most people do. I think I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to answer because there wasn't really a whole lot of. I think the biggest thing that we did was we made it clear to people that we were practicing on Facebook, and then of course, we did the sign, and then I think that led to some business, and then I think it was sort of just like a domino effect. As we got a couple cases, those people told their people that we were practicing cases, we did a good job. This person would tell that person, and it sort of grew from there. I think as we kind of got situated to practice a little bit more, and actually we actually started making a few dollars, we started doing like radio ads, and so I think that gave us a little bit more reach too. Like we had radio ads going in Greenville, in Greenwood, and all over the upstate, so that helped. So but to be honest with you, Dakota, we've tried a lot of different things in terms of marketing.
Got you. So word of mouth is the best right now in terms of once you get started. Word of mouth has been the best for you guys.
I think it was. I think in the beginning it was. But I do think that as we progressed, we started trying different things. Like we do like Facebook ads, we'll do Google ads. Of course, those things cost money, and those are things that we did as we progressed. Radio, like I said, was really big, but that cost a few dollars. So I think word of mouth is still really big, and we still get a lot of referrals from people. But I think at this point, I think what's been helping us to maintain is I think word of mouth combined with Facebook ads, Google ads, maybe radio if you could afford it. I think it's a culmination of all those things.
I got you. So it's not just one set thing that you did. You did multiple things to get yourself people awareness of who you are.
Yeah. In fact, just recently we put that just made me remember. Just recently we had a billboard that we put up in Greenwood, South Carolina. So we got that done. We just put up a billboard over there. That's been going. We also got I remember another thing we did that I thought was really good was we actually got some professional photos done. We hired somebody to do that. And so we got somebody to take some new professional photos, and we got that done. We got that put on our website. Because before, when we first practiced, we were just like, man, we ain't spending no money on advertising. I think all we did was we just, I think I posed in front of some books, and then said just took a picture of me looking like I was doing something, and then when we just put that on the website, and then that was all we did. Which I mean, I was okay in the beginning, but after we got to a certain point, I was like, all right, come on now, we got a little bit of money, let's try to elevate this, let's try to see if we can step this up a little bit. And one thing that we did, and shameless plug, Dakota, shameless plug, if you go to if you go to our website, kcwlawoffices.com, or just type in Kinlaw Cunningham LLC on Google, we have a new video that we launched on our website. We actually got somebody to come in and shoot videos of me and Cedric, and it's very well done. It's like edited very well, and we sort of talk about like our experience practicing law and what we do, but it's on our website. And so when you go on our website and you click meet the team, it plays like a video showing me and my partner. And so obviously when you have ads running online, people see that sort of stuff. So that's another example of things that we've done to try to grow and try to elevate a little bit.
Great. And for me, basically marketing is something I've been putting money into as well. Having signs actually on the side of the road, me standing waving to people. I mean, just a variety of things has helped. But honestly, mostly what's helped me is Facebook. Free, not doing paid ads. I've done Facebook ads and it hasn't worked for me. So it's free posting has worked for me to get me clients. So that's helpful as well.
That's awesome.
So talk about challenges you face in being a lawyer.
Challenges faced being a lawyer. I think one of the big challenges that I faced was it was a couple things, Dakota. I think number one was well, first of all, for anybody that wants to be an attorney or wants to go to law school, I think, there's a big disconnect between law school and then actual practice of law. Like, when you're in law school, there'll probably professors and different professionals that come in. They may talk about like, they may give you a rough idea how to handle certain cases and how things work. But in terms of like them sitting down with you and like telling you, okay, this is how you do a divorce step by step by step. Or if somebody gets a DUI, and you're trying to get their license back, or you're trying to get them a better deal, this is how you do it step by step by step. They don't necessarily teach you that in law school. So when you get out, you kind of have to sort of learn some of that on your own, or maybe talk to other attorneys who have been down that road before, and then maybe learn from them and sort of do it that way. So I think that was one big challenge, just learning how to actually like practice law and how to handle cases and be efficient with that. I think the other big challenge was just it kind of leads back to what you were talking about earlier about just the marketing aspect of it, and just trying to get that business and trying to get people in the door. Because that's an ongoing challenge, and I'm still not that great at that, but we're all trying to get better. So I I'm gonna flip the script a little bit, man. Let me ask you a question, man. I mean, you talked about, with my marketing, you said you do Facebook and all that, and you said you just, I guess you just make posts on Facebook. Is that what you do?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I do videos, I give content, different things. I try to keep it within a minute. That way, people attention span is short, so I
Right.
try to keep it within a minute. And also, I think on Instagram, you got to have a video at least 1 minute for it to upload. So I try to keep it within a minute. So I do content like posts. I just do posts, and then I can also comment in groups. I found that on Instagram, when I'm commenting in people's groups, I'm getting more followers. So my goal is to get followers and then transfer followers from Instagram to a website, because
Hmm.
I want to get it on my email list to become a possible client.
Wow. How often do you post on Instagram and Facebook?
I try to do once a day at least. Once a day at least. I'm trying to do more engagement than posting, because if I do one post a day, people see it. I share it. I'm in like maybe 17, 18 groups, I think. So I post to once a day. And then I also try to do more content. I take a class on marketing. The lady said do a 25 comment challenge, which is challenging for me because you got to go on somebody's page and say at least 4 words to the person about a post, or either a Facebook Live they do, or either a story, Instagram story post. And then I found that people will follow you, but they'll follow you. So I'm trying to do more of that, get more followers in my target market.
That's awesome, and that's been working for you.
In terms of followers, yes, I've got most of my clients, I think, from Facebook.
Wow,
In
that's
terms of like
awesome.
consults, Facebook,
Wow,
hands down.
that's, that's fantastic.
So I'm trying
Wow.
to do more engagement on Instagram, because my market is there. I've done LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, podcast, radio. I got signs. I have a newsletter. So I'm doing a variety of things. But my goal is to explode. So I got to do like a whole lot of activity. My goal is to do 1 month of activity each week. So that's like cramming a huge amount of activity in 1 week, 7 days.
That's
But
fantastic.
it's just me right now. So I'm doing what I can do to make it happen.
No, that's fantastic. That's awesome, man. See, I need to get like you, man. That's fantastic, man.
Thank you.
Wow.
So outside of you doing the Facebook and the website, are you doing any kind of marketing? Like, do you do networking? I know you talked about that's when you start doing when you started your business, but are you still doing networking, doing referrals, or how do you continue to do your marketing?
Right. So we still do some I still go out and meet with attorneys occasionally if I have time. I still try to go to like social events, in the upstate area. Like where I currently we're members of the Simpsonville Chamber of Commerce. I'm working on becoming a member of the Greenville Chamber of Commerce. I'm doing that right now. So I try to go to different social events and just give out cards, the normal stuff. if I see and that's the other thing too, man. I just, I mean, I don't care. I'll talk to anybody. So, I've tried to go to like different bars, different restaurants. And if I'll just talk to somebody to be like, hey, of course, I don't just immediately tell them I'm a lawyer, but, I try to talk with them and get to know them a little bit. And then if it comes up what we do, I'll tell them, then, hey, I got a card for them. So, I've gotten some clients that way. So, honestly, man, I think just anywhere and everywhere I go, I just try to talk to people. Another thing I would do too, man, is I would go to like the general sessions court, like or the courthouses. Sometimes I might hang out there. I might have another case, and then I just just hang out around. And if somebody's looking like they might need some legal help, they need some direction. I'm their man. I got a card for them. So I think just having cards. This is what drives my wife crazy, but I'm just all about having cards anywhere and everywhere I go, because you never, ever, ever know. So you just always gotta have a card.
Very true. You never know who you come in contact with.
That's right. That's right. So, but I'm gonna say, man, though, I like your idea of posting consistently, man, on Instagram, Facebook, because man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm bad about that, man. I don't post nothing because I just I need to do that. I need to do that.
I mean, like a guy contacted me recently on my website about doing something for the nonprofit. Of course, I told him I referred him to a friend of mine, but he found out about me through Facebook because I post consistently. And he's in, I think, Seneca, South Carolina, or Anderson. I'm in Greenville. So by me posting, people see my stuff. They might not say anything, but they see me.
No, that's a good thing. That's what you want.
Right. Exactly. So before we close, you're married to Geri. You guys been married for how long?
We've been married for, it's going on about over 7 years now.
Wow. And you guys have 2 children, right?
We have 2. Yeah, two children.
Talk about that in terms of how do you balance being a husband and a father and an entrepreneur?
Right. So it's not easy. It's challenging, man. So our kids are very, very young. I think our son is coming up on 2, and then our daughter is 4 now. So now they keep us pretty busy. I think, honestly, I think it's between balance. I think it's just communication, man. I think communication is the key with the wife. I mean, I know that seems to be the key to everything. So I think it's just communication and just being open and being honest with each other, and just trying to really trying to just coordinate and just work together as a team, man. I think that's the big thing. And then also, I think like one thing that my wife does, I think is real helpful, was we got like a big calendar that she has where she had to list everything that she's got going on with her job, and then I'll try to tell her, I put on there like, hey, this is what I got going on with the firm, and I may have to stay after hours because I got to work on this trial. And then but even though I got a trial, what I may do is I may try to get up real early in the morning, and I may try to like make breakfast for the kids. I try to like, I'll fix my wife's lunch. So for when she goes to school. So I'll do things like that because I know those are little things I know can help her and save her time. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff that we do to try to like tag team it, but those are kind of just little things that we do to try to just make it more manageable.
Awesome. So any last words of encouragement or insight before we close?
Oh wow. Man, there's so much I want to say, but I know we don't have enough time. I'll leave you with this though. I think for anybody out there who's listening and maybe wants to be a lawyer, I would say that I think this is an amazing profession. I think that's absolutely awesome. I can't imagine myself doing anything else but being a lawyer. I mean, you get to go into court and you get to argue, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you know what? It's fun. It's fun. And, and if you can genuinely help somebody and change somebody's life, then, that makes it even better. So, it's a lot of work, but, I think it can be worth it, if it's something that you really, really want. So, and anybody out there who maybe wants to be an entrepreneur and wants to, start their business, or they're waiting, for that opportunity, man, put yourself on, man. Don't wait for nobody to give you no chance. I mean, some people, they sit here, they're waiting for this knight in shining armor, and it's not coming. You are the knight in shining armor. It's you. So, I mean, you're the cavalry. You are. And it's not like an arrogance or confidence or overconfidence or arrogance, anything like that. It's the truth. You got to believe in you, and you got to trust in you. And if you do that, it's gonna work out. So that's my testimony. That's it.
I like it. I like it. So how can people find out about you and your website? Shameful plug? No shameful plug, brother. You got the floor.
Nah, just go to Google and type in, you know what? Type in Alex Kinlaw III. I'll type in Kinlaw Cunningham Law Office, Kinlaw Cunningham LLC. That's it. You'll find us on Google. You'll find us.
Awesome. Well, Alex, thank you for your time, brother.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. This is the Your 1 Hour Podcast. And thank you all for listening.